Before we begin, I want you to stay with me until the very end of this video, because what you're about to see might completely change the way you imagine planets, oceans, and even reality itself. Imagine standing on the edge of an endless ocean, no land in sight, no horizon you can trust, just water stretching beyond comprehension. Now imagine something impossible slowly emerging from beneath the surface. Not a wave, not a creature, but an entire planet, a massive sphere, silent and ancient, floating gently as if gravity itself has forgotten what it's supposed to do. This is not a dream, not a myth, but a concept so strange that it challenges everything we think we know about the universe. A planet floating in an ocean. At first, it seems like a contradiction. Planets belong in space, oceans belong on planets. But what if there existed a place where those roles were reversed? A cosmic ocean so vast that planets drift through it like leaves on water. No stars in the sky, no galaxies overhead, just a dim, glowing expanse of liquid stretching in all directions. The surface ripples slowly, as if breathing, and within it, entire worlds drift silently, each carrying its own mysteries. The planet we're focusing on today is unlike anything you've ever seen. From a distance, it looks familiar, almost like Earth. Swirls of clouds wrap around it, and hints of continents appear beneath a thin atmosphere. But as you get closer, something feels off. There are no continents. What you thought was land is something else entirely. Massive, crystalline structures, rising and falling with the rhythm of the ocean beneath. The entire planet is not sitting in the ocean. It is floating in it. How does a planet float? That's the first question that comes to mind. And the answer is both simple and mind-bending. Density. Just like ice floats on water, this planet is less dense than the ocean it drifts in. But this is no ordinary water. The ocean itself is composed of an exotic substance, something heavier than any liquid we know. Thick, luminous, almost alive. It glows faintly in shades of blue and violet, casting an eerie light onto the underside of the planet. As the planet drifts, it rotates slowly, not bound by a star, but by the currents of the ocean itself. Days and nights don't exist here in the way we understand them. Instead, the brightness of the environment shifts depending on the depth and movement of the ocean's surface. Sometimes the planet is bathed in a soft, glowing light. Other times it sinks slightly, and darkness takes over, broken only by flashes of bioluminescent energy rippling through the liquid around it. Now imagine standing on that planet. The ground beneath your feet feels solid, but you can sense a subtle motion, like being on a ship. The entire world gently sways, responding to forces far greater than anything happening on its surface. The sky above is not a sky at all. It's the underside of the ocean. A vast, glowing ceiling of shifting liquid, filled with shadows of enormous shapes moving slowly beyond sight. And those shapes, they are not waves. Halfway through this journey, I want to pause for a moment. If you're enjoying this exploration and your imagination is starting to run wild, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss the next adventure. There's so much more to uncover, and you won't want to miss what's coming next. Because those shapes in the ocean above the planet are alive. Massive creatures drift through the depths, their bodies stretching for kilometers, moving with a grace that defies their size. They are older than the planet itself, existing long before it began its endless drift. Some glow with patterns of light, communicating in ways we can't understand. Others remain completely dark, their presence only revealed by the way the ocean bends around them. From the surface of the planet, these creatures appear as shifting shadows, like clouds passing overhead. But sometimes they come closer, much closer. When they do, the entire planet reacts. The ocean around it ripples violently, currents shift, and the floating world tilts ever so slightly. Imagine looking up and seeing an eye the size of a city slowly opening above you, observing, curious, but indifferent. Life on the planet has adapted to this strange existence. Instead of evolving under sunlight, it has grown under the glow of the ocean. Plants, if you can call them that, absorb the faint light filtering through the liquid above. They shimmer with translucent colors, changing hues depending on the intensity of the glow. Some even float slightly above the surface, tethered by thin strands, swaying like underwater vegetation in a current that never truly stops. Creatures roam this world as well. Some resemble familiar forms, walking, crawling, even flying in a low, dense atmosphere. But others are completely alien. Beings that phase in and out of visibility, their bodies interacting strangely with the energy of the ocean above. Some can sense the movements of the giant creatures long before they appear, reacting with behaviors that seem almost intelligent, as if they understand something deeper about this place. And then there's the sound. You would expect silence in such a surreal environment, but instead, the planet is filled with a constant, low hum. It comes from the ocean, a deep, resonant vibration that travels through the planet itself. Sometimes it's calm, almost soothing. Other times, it rises into something more intense, like a distant roar echoing through an endless abyss. Scientists, if they could study this place, might speculate that the ocean is not just a liquid, but a medium of energy, a kind of cosmic field that allows these planets to float, these creatures to exist, and this entire system to function in a way that defies conventional physics. It's possible that what we're seeing is not just an ocean, but something far more fundamental, a layer of reality that we don't yet understand. But here's where things get even more fascinating. The planet is not alone. As it drifts, other planets come into view. Some are smaller, moving quickly with the currents. Others are massive, their gravity slightly influencing the ocean around them. Occasionally, two planets come close enough that their atmospheres interact, creating storms that stretch from one world to another. Lightning arcs across the gap, illuminating the ocean in flashes of blinding light. What would it be like to travel between these planets, to stand on one floating world and look across the ocean to another, knowing that the space between is not empty, but filled with a substance you could, in theory, move through? Would there be civilizations that have learned to navigate this ocean, building vessels capable of diving into its depths and emerging somewhere else entirely? Or perhaps the ocean itself doesn't allow such travel. Perhaps it protects its secrets, making movement between worlds nearly impossible. Those massive creatures we saw earlier might not just be inhabitants, but guardians, ensuring that each planet remains isolated, drifting endlessly without interference. As we approach the end of this journey, take a moment to think about what this means. A planet floating in an ocean is more than just a strange idea. It challenges the boundaries of imagination, pushing us to consider realities beyond our own. It reminds us that the universe, or whatever lies beyond it, might be far more complex and mysterious than we can ever fully comprehend. Before we wrap up, I want you to do something important. Drop a comment below and tell me what you think. Would you want to visit a place like this? Or would it be too overwhelming, too alien? I'd love to hear your thoughts and ideas, because every perspective adds something new to the conversation. And if you've made it this far, you're exactly the kind of viewer this channel is made for. So don't forget to like this video, subscribe if you haven't already, and turn on the notification bell so you're always the first to experience these kinds of mind-bending worlds. Because somewhere, in the vast unknown, there might just be an ocean, with planets drifting silently across its endless surface.